How are you all doing? I am so excited. Last time we got started with the Narzissenkreuz adventure quest line, and in that quest we met this little lockfolk that we have beside us here named Anne, and she introduced us to her adventure team. All of these other little not oceanids, but yeah, the little water creatures who we went on an adventure together to reclaim this kingdom from the evil dragon who has taken over this castle, and to save the Princess Lyris, who is apparently trapped eternally slumbering here without time passing. So at the end of that last episode, we stormed the castle together with the power of our friendship and our bonds. But then all of the other members of the adventure team formed together in order to create this bubble so we could go to the top. And so now it's up to us and Paimon and Anne to go and finish rescuing the princess. So yes, let's make it so that, I guess it's not really their sacrifice, because as they said, they once all came from the same water and now they return to the same water, and perhaps someday they can be reformed again, or perhaps they will just the water shall cherish the memories that each of the members had together. But yeah, it is time for us to now continue on with this quest. And without further ado, let's see if we can save the princess. Water is formless. What comes from the water will surely return to it. Once we rescue Princess Lyris, she will be able to bring them forth again. I hope so. I hope so. It's just a portal. Where does this one lead, though? I'm not sure either, to be honest. I've never considered what would happen after we entered the tower. That's true. I guess nobody's been able to enter the tower, so nobody really knows what has been going on in here. Oh, well, in that case, let's proceed with caution. With more proceeding or more caution? Let's see what's on the other side. Yes, we should be careful. We're the only ones the princess can rely on. Precious chest, okay.
A reward on the road.
Where does this... we know it. We went to one of these books before, and it accidentally took me somewhere. It wasn't ready to go quite yet. Whoa, maybe a little warning next time. Look at the three of us. Paimon's kinda dizzy. There's so many books here. Is this a library? This library has existed since long, long before we arrived. Their contents seem to be ancient dramas. Children love to read books, but there is much they won't understand, so they will often ask adults to read the stories to them. In the books, when there is an evil dragon, there must be heroes who hunt the dragon. If there is a mage, there must be a wandering knight. The Reconquista must come to pass, and the princess must be saved. And of course, a chime will sound, and the tale of adventure will come to a halt. Yet it will not end. There will be another adventure, and another after that, until the children grow up and leave this place. Anne? Sorry. It felt like memories and feelings suddenly flooded into my mind. How strange. Well, as long as you're alright. Paimon thought you might have been bewitched by Narcissus' magic or something. That might actually be so. Well, what do we do next? I'm not sure either. Whatever the case, let's have a look around. Yep, first off, looks like there's a door over there, but it looks like there's no way through it. You two should be able to get across. That's true, you can fit through the gaps. Hey, you're Anne's knight right now, you know. This will all be pointless if you don't come along. That's right. Well, I guess I will have to squeeze through one of the little gaps in the gate then. This tile sticks out like a sore thumb. This might be some sort of path. This might be a trap. It might be a trap. Paimon doesn't know either, but let's go all the same. There we go. We've now... So we were that close to finishing Act 2. Okay. I understand. And story. Keep moving ahead. Now let's see. We are at Kingdom Through the Looking Glass. Oh, so this is like... instead of Alice in Wonderland, it's Anne in Wonderland. Okay, so this is different than the... Or is it? Is it different? This... We clicked on this book last time, and then it like brought us somewhere. So I'm not saying that this couldn't be it. Anyway, let's take a look over here. Oh, I like the music in here. Okay. Oh, the Hydrograna, and this should now... Okay. Good. Well, see, you don't have to worry about us in the gate. That's... Fell Shield of Narcissus? It seems like some sort of seal. This is the center of the world. The castle where the dragon lurks. The tower that imprisons the princess. Sometimes it is the lost ancient city of Ys. Sometimes Arcadia. At times it is even golden Hyperborea. Here, many untrodden realms have been conquered. Here, many heroes have defeated evil dragons. That would be a very different story. This is a place that brims with magic, and I was never really able to understand it. Children could see through a stone wall the imaginary griffins that whirl freely in the distant cloud-filled skies. These 4 pools would, in different adventure tales, be the 4 seas, and sometimes the 4 cardinal realms of the world. I could not understand these things either, but to accompany the children on their adventures, I played all sorts of roles. Are these more of those suddenly emerged memories? Yes. Huh. Anne, are you alright? I don't know. I feel very strange. These memories are beautiful, but terrifying too. Look, there, atop that small fountain, that is the holy blade of Narzissenkreuz. Is it really? It looks, kinda cheap. Behold, Paimon, the holy blade. Seriously, it's just a shabby wooden sword. Still, it's still probably very important to somebody. With this sword in hand, Paimon bets the kids sure felt like invincible heroes, ready to take to the skies and do battle with their enemies, huh? I think so. Appropriately shaped branches and drawing poles could also, in the right tale, be the holy blade. But one day a certain woman brought several wooden swords for the children to play with, so that the drawing poles would stop being used in fights. And who was that? I do not know. It must have been someone who once lived here. Yeah, it does seem like the kingdom was once a lively place with all sorts of people in it. When you think about it like that, the holy blade must have been very important. A normal sword can cleave flesh, but the holy blade can cleave spirit and will. As such, even impervious dragons and formless illusions are no match for it. If the story of our adventure team is to reach its end, we will need the blade. Is it really that powerful? It looks like just a cheap wooden sword. Well, Paimon, nothing that we've encountered so far has been what it seems, and, you know, it's not nice to call it a cheap wooden sword when it's really important to everybody here. Just take its holiness at face value. Sure, if you say so, but it doesn't look like we can reach it right now. Let's continue exploring. Maybe we'll find some way to break this magic bubble. Princess Lyris is still waiting for us. That she is. This is so interesting. These are all these areas of Fontaine I haven't explored yet.
Go!
Sorry, Crabbo. Interact. Oh, did I need to hurt the Crabbo in order to get through here? I don't know now. Maybe I didn't. That was not nice. Anyway, look at this place. This fountain is pretty beautiful. And I like the foliage too. Honestly, this room is just really nice. Let's see. There we go. That's a lovely shot there. So we've been through Act 1 where we went on that grand adventure with that group of little heroes from the adventure team. It seems like we're starting to, as through the looking glass here, almost seems like we're going from a fantasy world into the real world now. Like, little Anne seems to be recalling memories from that are more fourth wall breaking compared to the sort of story that we've been going through so far. So it almost feels like we're entering reality instead of entering a fictional world. Keep moving ahead. Okay. Whee! Here we go. Okay, well finally an enemy that we can take down using the whole team. Whoa, there's creatures from Fontaine right here too. Is this the Narzissenkreuz Kingdom's zoo? They're just ordinary wildlife.
And voila!
We've dealt with plenty of these impetuous creatures before, but every time you blink, more of them show up. You've dealt with them before? What is that? Oh, I thought something came out, but I think it was just Farina's little guys. Uh-oh.
A reward.
Winnie! I mean, I know your whole thing is that you lose health in order to do more stuff, but you also need to start with pretty high health. Oh my gosh, I love the music in here. Whoa, a bubble formation? Why would there be a bubble formation? Daddy, quick! Get behind the pillar! Oh right, these are the things that would shoot at us. I was like, he wasn't shooting, but then maybe it's just because I didn't see us. We got this. We got this. Actually, why is there a bubble formation here, too? Was this meant to prevent invaders from kidnapping the princess? Yes, that is the case. Also, we ran into some enemies earlier. Didn't you say that when Princess Lyris gave you her treasure, the tower stagnated and even Narcissus could not enter? There's a lot of stuff here that doesn't make sense. What's going on? Yeah, and doesn't make sense beyond the things that we already established don't make sense, but kind of adhere to different rules. These sort of things are not even adhering to the rules that were set up before. I don't know either. I never thought about what would happen after we entered the tower. Also, this place feels very strange. I don't understand. I should never have been here before, but I find myself recalling and feeling many things. Do you two not feel it? No, I guess I've never been here. Paimon doesn't either. Well, do you know what this place is, Anne? This was the assembly hall of the Narzissenkreuz Institute. The children would study here normally. I remember now. This was a lovely place. There was no sunlight, but it was always lively here. Well, even though there's no sunlight, it does seem like it's quite bright outside, which is quite lovely, actually. The children were all of different dimensions, some of them as different as the two of you. But here they would study together, listen to tales of the Hydro Archon, and to tales older still, dimensions. I mean that some children were very small, and some were somewhat larger. Oh, you mean like size dimensions, okay. Hey now, Paimon might be small, but she's got a big heart. Anyway, what about the princess? Was she a child too? Would the children hear stories about her? I don't know. Well, you might know if we walk through here a bit more. Why does Paimon get the feeling that the stories started drifting away from the princess ever since we were teleported here? No, this place must have something to do with her. We must be able to find her at the end of this road. She'll be happy to see us. Well, you're the local. Paimon trusts you. I know, we've kind of broken the fourth wall here now with the fairy tale. That's quite for sure. So this is a study hall, huh? I can imagine this being like a really cool place to hang out, like when it was not, you know, all crumbled like this when there's lots of people. But even if there were some plants growing, like, that would be really cool. Like, I like just the vibe of this place and the palace we just entered. And it kind of reminds me of certain parts of the Fontaine Research Institute, the old one, where it's just like, wow, you know, as a student, I would love to just hang out here in better times. And the architecture is so interesting too. Like, I like... it's just so cool to explore how they create so many different cultures in this game and express that with the architecture and just like little artistic details in the world. The environment. Let's continue on. Princess Lyris is still waiting for us at the end of the line. This looks like an elevator. You hear the sound of a bell. That's the sound of a bell. Oh, does this mean that the adventure's coming to a close and Princess Lyris is right up ahead? There doesn't seem to be any paths leading forward. Anyway, let's check out this treasure chest. Okay.
Splendid!
Okay. A feather?
More interesting trinkets for me.
Why would anyone put feathers in treasure chests? Did they wake up one day and decide to do it on a whim? Well, think about how many feathers we have found in treasure chests, which are artifacts. Oh, was that the right way? Was that the wrong way? I was about to say, this is the same thing you said before. Paimon's kind of dizzy. There's so many books here. Deja vu, perhaps? Huh. You know, Paimon thought she hadn't fully woken up yet. But haven't these things happened before? There will be another adventure, and another one after that. So I see after the chime, are we stuck in a loop now? Huh. So, even though the princess is waiting for us at the end of the road, it's just a bunch of connected loops with no real end? On the other hand, we'll be able to leave as long as we find the end of the road. Huh. Do you have an idea? Let's go over what we know first, then. Have you noticed anything, Paimon? Huh? You're asking Paimon? Hold on a minute. First, the paths here have been connected such that they form a ring, right? In that case, there'd be no getting out. Except that we were unable to get on these paths, so there should be a way off of them. There has to be a point from which we can break through. Next, we saw that super powerful sword or something. Yes, the Holy Blade of Narzissenkreuz. It should be a key item in some way. And why do you think of that? Well, it looks like a wooden sword, but it was inside a protective barrier. Would all that trouble be necessary if it wasn't important? So Paimon thinks we need to get that sword. Was there any other notable thing? Paimon can't think of anything at the moment. Let's see. We took out the hydrogranum, so that shouldn't be there the next time we go through there, is that right? Oh yeah, the tile. This one also looks like an elevator. But that said, this tile sticks out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? Paimon didn't just make that one up, by the way. When we passed this way before, it did feel weird how this tile is not connected to the others and how it has a different pattern. It could be a trap. Good work, Paimon. Wait, why are you praising Paimon so seriously all of a sudden? Oh, Paimon's not used to this. But you really do have an impressive mind, Paimon. As for me, my head's a mess. I can't get my thoughts straight. Oh, but Anne, you're giving us really important information here. You may not understand it, and I'm sure this is actually all really confusing to you. You seem to be regaining memories as if from another life. But trust me, this is really helpful too. We're gonna figure this out together as a team, okay? Don't beat yourself up too much. You're being assaulted by strange memories in this place. Anyway, let's think of how we can get out of this loop based on the stuff we thought of earlier. So the key is this room here. Is there anything here I've missed? You know what? This is... Okay, here's the portal. This is probably the first area that kind of reminded me of... What was I gonna say? Was it... I guess it's sort of like a combination of Enkanomiya, which is my favorite sort of lost kingdom to explore, but with the Fontaine vibes. The vibe of... Okay, there's a new thing here. Nope. Okay, that seems to already Done. We probably need a third one to appear, is that right? Third time's a charm? The rule of three? Anyway, though, but yeah, it's just like a combination of the exploration vibes I like. Of just getting to go through... Hey, the quest marker is here. Of just getting to go through... The Crabbo is back! Okay, that's cool, that's cool. But just getting to explore lost worlds, these beautiful structures, and imagine the kinds of stories that took place when these were thriving places. It's amazing. I love how they gave Anne Endora's animation, so she just fell asleep. Strangely the feather. Okay. Jabberwock's holy sword. We finally got it! The holy blade of Narzissenkreuz. Wait, what's this? Is it actually... It's a quest item, I would assume, right? No? Is it actually in our weapons? It's not in our weapons. It has to be a quest item, right? Oh, here it is. A holy sword that bears a special meaning in a certain story. Interesting. Could keep moving ahead. I assume we don't go back to... Okay, now there's 2 crabs. I don't need to hurt any of them, so you guys stay put. This has to do with the rule of 3. The rule of 3 has been brought up so many in so many of these stories. Now there's 2 of these guys. Do we have to take them? I think we have to take them. Okay, Paimon, you don't have to say the exact same things. You're just ordinary wildlife. You guys are self-aware of the fact that at least this has already been talked about previously, right?
Now my show.
But it, no, Lenny. Okay, see, don't die.
Magic can't cheat death, you know.
Magic can't cheat death. I'm sorry.
And voila.
Water gun. I wish that. Sometimes I wish that's what Ether said. There we go.
A reward on the road.
Notably, the combat music I don't think is playing here. Okay. The thing is, shooting is not here, but now there are two like places for it to sit. So there's now 2 of everything now. So what we need is to do the loop, finish this loop, let the bell chime again, and then we get 3 this time. There we go. That's the sound of the bell. Did something like this happen exactly before? Okay. So 3rd time's a charm. Now if we go to the door... Paimon's kinda dizzy. There's so many books here. Someone wanted this tale of adventure to never end. Huh? What are you on about? You know what? Paimon thought she hadn't fully woken up yet, but haven't these things happened before? The future of the story that constantly repeats will never come, but we must keep moving forward. Yes. Princess Lyris waits for us at the end of this path. Paimon knows. The last time we were here, you said on the other hand, we'll be able to leave as long as we find the end of the road, didn't you? And there must be a way. I said 3rd time's a charm. See? This time we have 3 of these things. We have the sword this time. We use the feather up, so... Oh my gosh, I love this music. I gotta find it on the soundtrack. There should be 3. Yeah, there is. Okay, there's 3 little buddies here now. I mean, I assume there's nothing I have to really do other than fight the seahorses again. There's probably 3 of them now. Excellent. The strategy here is to actually just not let Lenny die. Because So now he can actually take out all three of them. Wow, there's creatures from the Fontaine right here. They're in the zoo. So their sense of deja vu is probably not as strong as mine, which indicates to me something's happening to them.
Now disappear. Magic can't cheat death, you know.
Okay. You're gonna need to heal up a little faster.
Here comes the finale.
Oh, here we go. Do that.
Stay calm, stay calm.
This is actually not a great fight for Lenny because he does way better and it's just one-on-one enemies.
And voila!
There we
Step
go.
right up.
Step right up. And now we have a precious chest this time.
And now I'll make it all disappear.
We're almost there.
Just kidding.
Go through the motions one more time. Now we have three of these like shells to hold them. And now we take the elevator this time. Hear the sound of the bell. Okay, now we've done this 3 times. There should be something different that happens when we go. Didn't something like this exactly like this happen before? There should be something different now when we go to the trapdoor. It's probably an elevator more than a trapdoor, but okay, anyway. Right here. There's so many books here. Uh-oh. Why are you saying the exact same thing? Oh no. Okay. Well, now I'm not so sure about what I'm doing here. Okay, this is giving me the reminiscing of Hu Tao's. Oh, interesting. This is like Hu Tao's story quest where this is one part where you just walk in circles, and if you don't like grab the thing on the way in, you never figure out what's wrong. Okay. Please don't tell me this is like some kind of combination code. Okay, only the green crab is here. Notably, it was only the orange one at first. Now it's only the green one. There was two light up of things. There's one green crab. There is no seahorses. So we have 2, 1, 0. And then we have 2 things to hold Hydrograna. So that's 2, 1, 0, 2. If there's some combination or some kind of pattern we need to remember, that's the code so far. But that was the first time, you see. That was the first time where the numbers of things were different. I'm probably missing something pretty important. Was there some extra door we were supposed to go through? Uh-oh. Okay, so that was 2. We can't just keep walking. Why don't we look for more clues? More clues? Okay, so it was 2, 1, 0, 2. That, the 4th time we went around. What, like, do any of these doors open? I don't think so. Oh? No, this is the elevator we just came in. Okay. It's 2102. Now that's 3. On the 5th loop, there's 3. Three, 2. I mean, it'd be kind of silly if they put like a little detail in one of these corners of the room that we haven't had to look at before. Unless it's something obvious, like a door is opened. I mean, not that they couldn't do it. They can do whatever they want to make the puzzle as difficult as possible. But I'm not seeing outwardly anything. And I'm not sure which kinds of rooms we should be focused on. I'm not sure if there's something else, like... Do I need to put the hydrogranite back in the little things to hold it? Okay, there's 3 of them now. Okay. There were 3 lanterns, 3 things to hold hydrogranite, 2 crabs, and still 0 seahorses. Making sure no doors have appeared. Little sparkles flew away. I love how every time though they do the camera angles in a slightly different way. Okay. What have I missed?
Why don't we go back and see if we can find any clues?
Like go back here? Cannot. Okay, well thanks. Do you want me to do the story in reverse? I can do the story in reverse. Has anyone dared to do that before? Okay. That disappeared. Oh my gosh, okay. So somehow walking back the story in reverse is what we needed to do. Okay. There we go. Eventually figured it out. Obtain the holy blade of Narzissenkreuz. Okay, well we already did this. Strangely, the feather has reappeared in my hand. Oh, this is the holy blade of Narzissenkreuz.
Hey, finally! The holy blade is ours!
Didn't we already have it before?
It doesn't look like much, but once its powers are awakened, it'll become a destructive and invincible weapon. How is it? Can you feel its power?
Ugh, unlimited power.
Come to think of it, Anne, you did mention that the holy blade was originally a wooden sword that kids played with. That's right. When the young heroes from the Narzissenkreuz adventure team would pick this sword up, they would become able to defeat all foes in their tale. Well, let's just take this sword, shall we? Who knows, it might come in handy later. And if not, we can take it as a souvenir.
Okay. Oh no, I don't trust those things anymore. Open the path forward. I see, I see. Alright, it is an elevator. Okay. Oh, this is fun. I see. Every floor, but this is the different combinations of numbers every time.
Looks like the path leads downward rather than forward. This is a really long descent. It's so creepy. Don't worry, Anne. Teddy's really reliable and really good with a wind glider, too. Also, Paimon knows. You're worried about what might come afterward, right? Well, don't be. A real adventure is not only filled with challenges, but also with unknowns. The most important thing is to come back from completing those challenges and unknowns in one piece and gain something at the end as well. Isn't that right?
Exactly. That's what makes the story fun, and it also is what gives you something that you learn at the end of the story, like a moral of the story. Sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, up till now, you kind of had an idea of what was going to happen, but now you don't. But that's okay. We're going to figure this out together, and we're going to have fun and learn something along the way, too. And it might not be what you expected. In fact, a lot of the times it's not. But that's okay, because the story might still be pretty good. We've come this far. We'd be ashamed to give up now.
True. I believe in you, Knight Teddy, and in Paimon. You are wise and powerful, and you are also kind people. And ding ding ding, we have a winner! In that case, let's go. Ad Astra Abyssosque, as Catherine always says.
Jump down and reach the end of the story.
Whee!
Oh my gosh. Jump down and reach the end of the story.
Pinewood feels like something should happen right about now. I feel uneasy too. And I've been frightened ever since we came down here. No need to worry, Teddy will protect us no matter what, right?
Of course I will.
Yes, I believe in the two of you. I just don't know what we will encounter later. We'll take anything as it comes. Still, best be prepared. We might be in for a battle with Narcissus for all we know.
We're in some kind of water field. I feel like we could be fighting... Oh my gosh. I feel like we could be fighting an Oceanid. It might not be a good idea that I have so many Hydro characters on my team. You might want to pick somebody who might be better equipped to defeat the dragon. They name it Narcissus. Alright, here we go. Oh, this is already the mode I kind of
I present.
So interesting, because usually Oceanids summon creatures, or like the one in Liga does. Where'd it go? Oh, there it goes. It did summon something. It looks like Mori, but it is not.
And voila!
Uh-oh.
I know, you guys look like our friends.
But in the end, you were all the same water. But you probably don't have the same memories as our friends, so I'm not sure if you're the same. Even if you are, I'm sorry we had to meet on a battlefield like this. Oh.
Now disappear!
These guys are strong. But they're also very easy to freeze.
My apologies.
There you are.
Embrace the ice.
No, I did the thing where it moved away. powerful rapids to raise yourself higher and avoid damage. Where? I could just shoot you down right now. Okay.
So, why did we meet Narcissus in here? According to what we said before, the tower lost its time and thus stagnated. As such, no one could open or enter it.
But this space is not within the tower. That's right. We teleported to a different place from the tower.
Huh, that's right. I forgot that happened. But if that's the case... But how... No, that can't be true. The princess should be in the tower. I mean, that was the adventure team's only hope in this dark world. If she isn't, our adventures, their meaning, Al, Petit Chol, and the others... But we did take out the biggest threat to the kingdom, didn't we? That's a good thing, right? Yes, you're right, Paimon. Thank you. Thank you both.
Anyway, the story's not over.
Yep, look over there. There's a place we haven't been to before. Maybe we'll find more clues there, huh?
Interesting. Oh, I love that door opening animation.
This world is
full of unsolved mysteries.
Looks like there's tons of resources here. Stands to reason that there's gotta be some clues, right?
Yes, but who knows how long it would take for us to go look through them. Oh, only the key ones, it seems. Okay, here we go. Rather aged diary. Linking up with Ingold, Guillotine, and the rest of the old gang will go some way towards solving the dispersion problem. The situation is no place for personal feelings, but what person can lack them completely? I can only hope that they aren't treating my dear old Sponsand too poorly, or letting it rust in the harbor. And I hope my skills haven't rusted away either. I hope all goes well. I still want to watch the doe rise to the sounds of play outside the window. I want to watch them grow into fine adults. Decided to incorporate the Institute for Raising Orphans and the Children of Criminals into the public welfare system. Considering the ruins of a previous civilization upon which it was situated, it shall be named... The seat of the director was established in honor of the Hydro Archon's great virtue and has been taken on by a gentle-natured Oceanid. The title of vice director is to be taken up by one who displays exceptional moral quality and ability. We're learning more about the Institute here, it appears. The duty will be taken up by Basil Elton, former naval commander. May her steely temper be itself tempered by the family she will establish with these children going forward. What's that idiot thinking? Oh, whatever. Might as well have some fun post-retirement. According to the ancient theater and mysterious research hidden here, we believe that the documents and folklore discovered within Petrichor. The research team from the Institute of Natural Philosophy holds that. We're learning a lot of things that don't have to do with saving the princess right now. 1 serving of flour, 1 of sugar, 1 of melted butter, 2 of eggs, a large amount of milk with which to make foam. Are you kidding me? What exactly is a large amount? Remember it well this time. 15 minutes at 180 degrees is not the same as 540. True.
Doesn't seem like there's anything relevant. Let's look over here instead, shall we? There's a book here too.
A picture book, huh? It suits you, Paimon.
Well, that's because of Paimon's unique sensibility, you know. Picture books just speak to her better.
This book gives me a strange feeling.
What Paimon see? A long, long time ago, in a place far, far away, there was once a beautiful and kind princess named Lyris. And yup, she's our main character. I don't want this name. That's not what you said before. Do you want to read it too, Anne? In that case, Paimon's gonna continue. Ahem. Oh, come on, it's just a story. There's no need to be fussy. Anyways, a protagonist needs an antagonist, an evil one at that. And our evil antagonist, well, that's the dragon Narcissus. So evil is he that the peace-loving people tremble at the sound of his name. Not that he cares about their feelings, though. He sowed destruction across the land. With searing flames he spewed from his mouth. His great wings turned cities into dust, and his burning breath reduced nations to ash. At last, only the princess's realm remained safe. But because the princess worked tirelessly to defend her realm, Narcissus's plot to destroy everything could not succeed. So, in Narcissus's story, I'm the evil villain? This is kinda weird. This started like a page storybook, but it also feels like it isn't. You've got the bigger brain here. You have a look too.
Read carefully.
Huh? What? I've only seen this in other videos. Oh my gosh, this place is so beautiful. What is this place?
This is the real Annapausis. And with the Narzissenkreuz active, she no longer dreams of you.
Huh?
Feels like that book we saw in the Institute of Natural Philosophy. That's right, the book that we touched, and then it took us to some other place and unlocked all these other quests.
Huh. Paimon doesn't know, but it feels different somehow. Paimon wants to say that the book's contents were really weird, but it's really not much when compared to this, is it?
The world should be like this, not like how it is outside. Children should be able to play under the sun and in the grass without fear of hindrance or harm.
This place does feel pretty comfy, yeah. Paimon feels way better than she did when we were adventuring through the kingdom. There was no sunlight at all.
Is that how it is?
Never mind that. This place is really as nice. It's gotta be Princess Laris's garden, right? Say, Teddy, when our adventures are over, why don't we find a place like this to live?
Yeah, I gotta go back with my sister, though. We'll see what she's up to at that point.
We can eat tasty fruits, plant lots of sweet flowers, and we can invite our friends over as guests. We can all live together happily. What do you say?
Let's put a pin in that for now.
That's true. We gotta help Anne find the princess first, don't we?
Hide and seek, hide and seek. Where did Mary and her friends go?
Huh? Sounds like someone's singing over there.
Mary Ann's story. Find the owner of the voice. Sunflowers. This place seems so cozy. Like if you just had to pick a place just to spend the rest of your days under a sunlit sky and have a little house in the middle of nowhere where you can plant flowers and talk to birds and animals all day long. That seems quite lovely, doesn't it? You remind me of the people in the Valoria Mirage too, with the blue hair. Hide and seek, hide and seek. Where did Mary and her friends go? To a great sea without borders, to the place from which all lives flow.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry, I was just preparing some tea and didn't notice you. Come, sit. Snacks will be ready soon. Whoa. I'm sorry. Oh, this is just the same thing.
Ooh, snacks!
Yes, and ours are very good. But I must say this first. We can only start once the bell rings. It would be quite rude to do otherwise. Where are you from, by the way? Why, you are a fascinating combination, aren't you? A handsome young man, a small little Oceanid, and your beautiful floating friend.
Paimon's Paimon and he's Teddy.
Oh, sorry.
Huh, is it just Paimon or does Anne look unhappy?
She might have been reminded of something.
And this Oceanid is our friend, Anne.
Oh my, a fine name indeed. In that case, please call me Marianne. Marianne.
You know, Paimon's sure we heard this name before.
We did. We heard it from Seymour. We heard it from Marianne's location in the Fontaine Research Institute where the statue of the Seven is. Your name has been mentioned in the lore a few times. I just haven't quite created a profile of who you were in the lore until we're meeting you now. So this is actually quite exciting for me. My, what a pleasant surprise. It has been a long time since I've met someone from outside. Where are you from?
Well, actually, Paimon's not sure either. We defeated the fell dragon Narcissus and then we somehow ended up here somehow.
The fell dragon Narcissus, you say? That must have been a frightening foe.
Did you think so, Teddy?
Not really. In a manner of speaking, I suppose. My, I've heard that Narcissus has hurt many and has turned many kingdoms to ash. Defeating him was an impressive feat indeed.
Oh, so you know about him too. Great. We're from the Narzissenkreuz kingdom and we're looking for Princess Lyris. Do you know where we might find her?
Princess Lyris, you say? I'm afraid I do not know. But she should be here. Is that the case, Anne? But I have lived here for a long, long time, and yet I have never seen any princess. Perhaps she might be somewhere else?
Is that so? But before we came here, we read a book about that princess and how she's beautiful and kind and stuff.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with any such person. On the flip side, you, Teddy, do look quite like a prince from a distant land. Well, Ether, what do you have to say about yourself to that? You hear the sound of a bell. Okay, well, it looks like we can get started now. Yes, that's the signal for tea time. In the past, the children would throw down their wooden swords the moment they heard this bell, and they would come into the hall to have snacks. They're not here now, but I think it'd be best to follow the rules all the same. They'd be quite disappointed otherwise, I suspect. Well then, shall we? Sure, don't mind if I do.
Hooray! Snacks!
You and Paimon enjoy the snacks together. They look very beautiful, but they are tasteless like pure water. Interesting. How were they?
Well, they were great, although Paimon couldn't really taste them. Are you on a low sugar diet or something, Marianne?
My apologies, Paimon. I just made them as I remember them, so I'm not sure if they'll taste all that good.
Oh, don't worry about it. At least Paimon's full now.
Well, in that case, let me take you all out on a stroll. Follow Marianne. Interesting. You notice here there is a doghouse and there is no dog. There's a doghouse and there is no dog in it. Well, what a beautiful place to live. We've met a lot of people who've been trapped in a certain place for a really long time, so as far as this goes, this isn't bad. It's actually quite lovely. This is a flower garden that we've painstakingly taken care of. Lovely, isn't it? I've heard Basile say that caring for children is like caring for a flower. You need good soil, sufficient sunlight, frequent watering, and you can't let them grow however they want.
Sounds like this Basile is pretty smart.
In fact, we must get rid of pests from time to time as well.
Actually, Basil sounds pretty dangerous too.
Is it basil or basil? I'm trying to figure out. Do I put a French accent on it? And is that what the French accent sounds like? She's very capable indeed. Making snacks, caring for flowers, she can do it all. It would be nice if I could introduce her to you. I've been caring for the flowers here all this time in the hope that some friends might come, and I might show them how they have bloomed. And, well, here you are.
Well, it is a shame that they aren't in bloom right now, though.
Well, we just need to water them and they'll be fine.
Hide and seek, hide and seek. Where did Mary and her friends go?
To the halls of sea-born foam to watch the sunflowers in bloom. As the drops of water stain the soil of the garden black, the sunflowers spring from the earth, grow quickly, and bloom.
Whoa, what beautiful big sunflowers! Huh? That was quick.
Well, they've been waiting for friends to arrive after all, and with your arrival, they were so excited. All they needed was a little encouragement, a little rain to get them going.
So that's how it is. Nature really is amazing, huh?
I suspect this exceeds the realm of amazing.
Do you like them, Anne?
They're very beautiful, like gleaming gold. I knew you would. I love them too, after all. You're from a very, very far away place, aren't you, Teddy? What sort of flowers bloom there? Describe the flowers your sister wears in her hair. Oh my gosh. This is the first character that's actually kind of poked around and tried to pry information about the traveler and where the traveler is from. Those do sound like lovely flowers, but I fear they'll be hard to find now.
Teddy?
Then let us speak of other flowers. I've always been in Fontaine and have never gone elsewhere. That said, a friend of mine has been to Samara. I heard from him that there are many flowers there that can't be found here. Those that grow on cliffs, ones that only open at night, some even grow on cacti. And that's when he realized that there was no cacti in Fontaine and had to give me a separate explanation. He was always the serious sort, and he was the smartest of us when we were young. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. It must be a little too exciting for me, meeting new friends like this. Well then, Paimon, have you seen any special flowers?
Mondstadt's dandelions come to mind.
Oh, dandelions. Do you have any of their delightful seeds with you?
Well, we might. Dandelions, dandelions, bloom, bloom, bloom.
I know. Their seeds, dandelion seeds can indeed be found on Paimon. Mary Ann happily plants them in the soil. I know, it's quite beautiful to watch their seeds soar into the sky. Although it's not as nice when they take up all of the water and food away from your other plants. What sort of flower is a dandelion?
Paimon thought you knew. How should we put this? The dandelion flower is made of many tiny white flowers, and these white flowers have seeds on them. When the wind blows, these tiny flowers would scatter along with the wind, and they would take root and sprout elsewhere, eventually making new flowers. Cool, huh?
Wow, they really are. I didn't know such a flower existed, but I have heard about something similar.
Oh, what sort of flower is that?
It's not a flower, but it's a story about water. In a certain place, there was a beautiful body of water. Later, with disturbance, there came ripples and droplets appeared in those ripples. Droplets that had life in them. This life left the water and turned into different forms. But though they were all made of water, gulfs opened up between them due to these differences. Each drop of life was very weak, but each was beautiful in its own way. The dandelions you spoke of, Paimon, reminded me a lot of that story. A flower that was once united as one would be separated, would bloom, and each piece would become itself. It sounds like the story of all the water creatures, but it also sounds like the story of the people of Fontaine themselves, and how Egeria gave them human forms that were lasting at the cost of using dangerous power. But a single drop of water is weak and will dry up easily. Together they will be strong, and yet they will no longer be themselves. Is that how it is with dandelions too? I don't really know. Unlike water, the dandelions can't really reform to create the same dandelion again. Do you think that's a good thing?
Paimon doesn't really get it. What do you think?
They may be weak, but the distance is necessary. It might not be a bad thing for them to unite. People can unite and yet maintain their personhood. And I guess that's, yeah, that last one. And that's what makes people different from water or dandelions. Is we can all come together united in purpose and yet still be ourselves.
Can they really?
I think I understand where you're coming from, Teddy.
What you're talking about sounds like what happened to Al, Petit, Show, and the others. To help us, they melded into one, turning into that big bubble.
Yes, I still remember.
Well, it might be meaningless to say this now. Let's have a little walk again, shall we?
Yes, I can take you to see our dog.
Oh, so you've got a dog, Marianne?
Yes, he's a silly dog that accompanied me. There's never enough time to read the words. I love her outfit so much, though. Oh, here's the doghouse that's empty that I noticed before. Strange, isn't it? He'll come when it's feeding time. Since you're my guest, please do the honors. Okay. Oh, it's like Mori. Noble sir, it is an honor to receive food from you. A pleasure to see you again as well, Miss Marianne. Huh? Oh, you good doggy.
Good doggy?
And how do you do, dear little miss?
Well, thanks for being polite and all, but... And what's going on?
I don't know, but this can't be Mori. He has always kept me company.
Does this mean we've been wrong all along about what dogs look like?
Well, we've seen other dogs that have given us the impression of what a dog is, so I'd say don't fuss over the details too much. Water can take any shape, and life can choose what form it must take. This, however, has nothing to do with its essence. That is a different matter.
Didn't Al say something similarly weird?
I've heard something similar said, that the body is a prison that restricts evolution. That person was once a child like all others. We and many others heard him tell many stories about how all life was originally formless like water, and how there were no barriers between souls, thus allowing them to compose an endless story. Many have forsaken their bodies, for if water can be withdrawn from blood, so too can will be drawn from one's form. But if you were to try to sprinkle water on the blackened dust that remains, it would not become blood again. And I remember something, even though I really didn't want to. How much do you remember, Anne?
I don't know.
There's this flood of feelings and scenes, happy words and angry ones. I'm not sure. I understand. You go first, all right? And remember, be a good dog. Understood. See you, Miss Marianne. See you, dear guests.
Oh, this is bad. The number of things that don't make sense just keeps adding up. If we hadn't seen the dog, Paimon would have forgotten all that stuff already. Didn't we say we were going to rescue Princess Lyris?
That's right. My apologies, but there's no princess here. Only us. Today, we were simply fortunate to receive guests. But this is the end of the path. She has to be here.
But Marianne said... so that's gonna mean that one of you's mistaken, right? Right?
Do you really want to hear what I have to say? experienced so far was just a story.
Wait, but didn't we team up with the Narzissenkreuz adventure team to defeat Narcissus' henchmen? Wasn't that real?
Think about it for a moment, Paimon. Is there even a Narzissenkreuz kingdom amongst the 7 nations? Well, I mean, I wouldn't make that the point that we're going through. I mean, there's been plenty of kingdoms or like remnants of other nations that once existed, such as Remoria and Enkanomiya and King Deshret's civilization, which were all separate countries at one point. But yes, is there even a Narzissenkreuz kingdom amongst the 7 nations?
Huh, you're right. Paimon didn't think of that. So the adventure team, Al, Petit Chou, Colonel Kate, Jacques, Maury, the 2 of us, and our adventures, they were all just characters in a story? No, that can't be. Paimon can't accept that. Didn't we encounter all kinds of stuff after going through the portal in the tower? There's a lot of stuff there that wouldn't fit if this is just a story. You know, like how there was no Holy Blade mentioned at the start, and how a sealed tower still had monsters and bubble formations inside of it. Paimon, I think I understand what Teddy is trying to say. So, all the things that happened after we ascended the tower are things outside the realm of the story. Is that right?
More accurately, those parts of the story had not been written.
So, the Holy Blade, Narcissus, these were still inside the story. It's just that they had not been arranged correctly yet. Paimon still finds it hard to imagine anyone who would create such a huge building just for a story.
I believe the structure already existed. It probably was not Princess Lyris's castle originally, but it had probably been abandoned and allowed to be used for such a thing. It was just used as the setting for the story.
So that means the things I recalled along the way were the things that happened here before. And I'm just a character in the story? Oh, you're not merely a character. The fact that you can think about this means that you can remember it. But if that's the case, who is Anne? I am Anne. I must rescue Princess Lyris. Alright, Teddy, Paimon, and dearest Anne, our time is up. I enjoyed our time together, but I'm afraid it is time for you to leave. Why did you have to say it was fiction if you already knew? Spare a thought for Anne's feelings, at least.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
Your vision blurs and you suddenly feel weightless as the temperature of the once warm air plunges rapidly. I know we spoiled the magic, and I was having fun going along with it too. Even though I could tell this was some kind of role play all the characters were going through. I mean, isn't it fun? It's fun to go through and re-explore the world from the lens of a child going to save a princess from a dragon. At the same time though, we've encountered a lot of situations, even in this game, where it's important to address one important at important times that eventually you have to wake up from a dream. That after a certain point, you can no longer ignore the real world anymore. That's a common theme that has come up a lot in this game and a lot of the stories in this game. And maybe it was, well, but I shouldn't try to justify it. I mean, it is, yeah, we did sort of break the illusion there, didn't we?
What? What happened? But... Shh. There's no need to say anything, Anne. I once heard my best friend tell a story about a beautiful princess trapped in a high tower. Before you arrived, I had a dream. I dreamed that I was a small, brave Oceanid, and we set out to save the princess. And perhaps there are princesses in this world, and dragons too. But I also know that the world's affairs are rarely this simple. Why would a dragon be concerned with a princess, after all? After waking up, I would find this dream laughable yet nostalgic every time I thought about it. Do you remember now, Anne? No, There has to be some other way. If I can't save Princess Lyris, then what of my birth? My only wish, do they have no meaning? Don't say that, Anne. Your birth was a beautiful accident. As things stand, I can only wish for you to live on for your own sake. Go, see the world, and see how it has changed these past years. I wish for you to have your own soul, memories, personality, and wishes. I wish for you to be the master of your own fate, and to experience all the beauty of the real world. Can you do that for me? It was a pleasure to meet you, Teddy Paimon, and it was my pleasure to meet you too, Anne. But the Annapausis is our tomb. I do not wish for you to linger here. Oh, Marianne, why are you saying that? We can find a way to help you, can't we?
I sense that you are good-hearted and powerful indeed. Thank you, Paimon. Teddy? I'm just someone who sometimes enjoys dreaming of a lovely adventure and wonderful futures. But I know what happened in the past. I already know that there's no going back. In the real world, everything has already ended. So this is farewell. Oh my gosh. Oh, we're back in the halls. No, it's all flooding again. Go with the flow. Okay, going with the flowing. Ah. Whoa. To see all of these beautiful, beautiful halls one last time. Unless we get to come back here, but... Where are we going now? Oh, up we go! Go with the flow. And here we are, back in the palace. And this whole place is flooded again. Is that... Oh, it's not flooded. Okay.
Anne? I'm sorry, Night Teddy. Paimon. I had already started to feel that some things were off earlier in the adventure. As you led me off the story's track, I started to understand and recall some things. But I still want to rescue Princess Lyris. That is the reason for which I was born. I want to save her and bring this story to a happy end. I mean, I don't even know who she is. I only know that she is a gentle, lovely princess, trapped due to Narcissus' invasion. Don't worry, Anne. At least we had fun while traveling with the adventure team, right? Did you know that things would turn out this way?
No. I mean, I figured it was probably a story, but at the same time, we love going along with these kinds of stories, right? And I wanted to play along, and yes, I thought we could help Anne.
Oh. Well, if that's the case, we can still help Anne. Huh? I didn't understand anything Marianne said there at the end. Did you, Anne?
I did, sort of. I could sense that she was speaking of something terrible that happened in the past.
Well, Paimon feels that that's unfair. Not just to you, Anne, but to us, too. That's why we've got to find out what happened. At least, if we do, we can come up with some sort of plan. Whether it be saving the princess or figuring out what Marianne said or whatever, we just want to help you, Anne. Isn't that right, Teddy?
This story isn't over, Anne. We'll find a way. That's right, the fairy tale story of us going to save a princess from a castle, that story might have had its close a long time ago. But the mystery of everything that's happened here and everything that was allowed to take place, that story is just beginning. And that's what I was really hoping for us to be able to do. So, the story isn't over.
Okay. Still, this is all just a story. There's one thing Paimon doesn't get. What role did we play?
I can't be sure, but I think we're most likely undefined factors. And that's why we can bring this story to an end.
Oh, Paimon gets it, so that's why Anne found us and brought us into the story. You might not have thought about it, Anne, but since we've been able to knock this story off course, that means we've opened all sorts of unknown possibilities. Isn't that right?
Yeah, exactly. You could say that.
Thank you, Night Teddy. Thank you, Paimon. That's also why we need your help, Anne. And since we need to continue our adventure, can you think of anything that could help us figure out what to do next? Let me think. My memories contain a place known as the Narzissenkreuz Ordo. This place appears to have deep connections to past events. That's true. Narzissenkreuz Kingdom Adventure Team? Yeah, they seem connected, alright. Do you have any idea where this Ordo might be? No. Oh, that's right. We're very experienced adventurers. If you need it found, we'll find it. Did we do it?
We did it!
We finished the whole thing!
I'll keep this close.
Go to the Narzissenkreuz Ordo. Yeah, as if now we have the complete set here. The Wondrous Trio has been together in a room for quite some time now. Maybe they've discovered new clues. Interesting. Well, yeah, as I described before, we have accidentally found the Narzissenkreuz Ordo before. What is this place? Well, I assume that's where we came out of.
A disc.
But yeah. Where are we? Oh, here we go. Oh, we were in the basement. Okay. Well, whatever this place was, I'm sure we will find out at some point. I mean, oh, the Oceania that's hugging it is still here. Does this have something to do with the previous Hydro Archon? Oh, look, and also we don't have Anne with us anymore. It's back to Endora. But yeah, sort of interesting how, unlike us going from the real world to the fantasy world, it sort of seems like this story, we started in the fantasy world and went into the real world instead. But, of course, this is all setting up for the big quest that comes after we do all of these. All of these storylines, Marianne's story, Caterpillar's story, Seymour's story, it's all going to come together. And then we can finally go into the tower here in this region, the Mort region, the region of death. And finally climb that tower, I assume. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly if I understand what Marianne was saying at the end either, but it sort of sounds similar to Marianne and Anne, sort of sounds similar to Focalor and Farina, where Farina was sort of a piece of Focalor, the part of herself that she could never live out in her life. Similar to what it sounds like with Marianne and Anne, the culmination of all the dreams she wished she could have lived out. And now it ends with a promise to be free, live your own life and be your own person, make your own memories, enjoy what it means to be alive in this world. And then I'll be more at ease, like summer's breeze, wondering, when will I feel alive? But anyway, we've now completed the 3 prologue storylines and found some secrets to this world for sure. Now it is time for us to piece together the little bits of information we've gotten from all of them and see what kind of story, what's the deeper story that is being told. Probably as important as the story that we dealt with in the Archon quest itself, in terms of the fate of Fontaine. Alright, but with that, thank you all so much for watching. That was a lot of fun. That was a really fun storyline. It's so cool to go on these adventures, and so cool to adventure with somebody else who's super excited about going on an adventure just like us too. And don't be afraid of what's unknown. It can be scary because you don't know what it is. But The unknown can bring a lot of good
Being
things.
too popular can be such a hassle. Who knew the people would adore me so much?
Oh, a little Endora there too. But yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you when we're going to be continuing on with this story next time. Bye everyone!